What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video here on EMKWAN Reviews. You're watching me, EMKWAN. Peace and blessings to all out there. And in this video, I've got my hands on the brand new iPad Pro 2018. This is probably one of the hottest new devices for November. Let's get it unboxed. Here we are, the brand new iPad Pro 2018 along with the Apple Pencil. I've set these guys up, I've been using them for the last 24 hours and I have some very just interesting feelings about this device. Now, to begin with, let's get the obvious out of the way. The iPad Pro 2018 looks different and some would argue incredibly different from the previous generation, something that we kind of grew accustomed to when it came to the look and feel of the iPad. This is the 11-inch version. This year we're getting an 11-inch and a 12.9-inch, and this is last year's iPad Pro. You'll notice it has exactly the same footprint, but look, so much more screen real estate when you compare them side by side. The other thing that you're going to notice is that unlike the older iPad that kind of tapers in from the sides, this is just completely uniform all the way across. In many ways, this reminds me of the first generation iPad, and it's a much more industrial kind of design and feel. And I think this is actually going to be the future and might even give us a clue as to what we might expect in the next coming iPhone. We've got a volume rocker button, buttons on the side at the top over here, and then the power wake on off switch. You'll also notice that you still have that sort of surround sound speaker setup. We've got speakers, both two on this side over here and then two down at the bottom. And then check that out. No more lightning cable, we have just a USB-C. Again, I'll talk about that in a moment in detail. The other thing that you'll notice, and this was a big thing that Apple were pushing at the keynote, is this kind of bezel-less design. Now, it's not completely bezel-less, and you know what? I have to admit, I think Apple have done this right, because a device like this, you kind of need some border when you're holding it. In that bezel somewhere is now the new form of unlocking your device. There is no home button. There is only the True Depth camera module at the top, and that is used when you set it up for the first time. It needs to be done in portrait mode to set up Face ID, but once it's set up, it will allow you then to kind of unlock in any shape orientation. So it works on the side, and let's see if this will work upside down. Yep. Seems to unlock in any shape orientation. I don't know about many of you guys, but I would traditionally use my iPad on a table. So with Touch ID, the one advantage is you don't need to lean over, you just use your thumb. But with the newer iPad, it means that you kind of need to lean over to unlock it. As far as software is concerned, this is running iOS 12.1, and you know, iOS 12.1 on the iPad Pro is very similar to what you might get on your iPhone. So it's just one swipe to go back. Obviously, if you are in an app and you want to bring up the icon bar there, that's doable with that kind of pause of a finger. And multitasking means that you just go up like this and bring up the app tray for you to select which app you want to remove or move to. I do like the fact that, you know, multitasking is in many ways so much more easier doing it like this. It's it's much easier on a larger screen than it is with a slightly smaller iPhone. But as far as the operating system is concerned, I mean, I think this is one of the things that has always made the iPad stand out from a lot of the other competitors out there. iOS 12 is not only fast, but it's incredibly intuitive on a larger device. You're gonna notice the speed, you're gonna notice just the fluid nature of moving around this operating system in a way that I think gives the iPad Pro an edge. Whoa, that took me like 4 attempts to do. All right, so here's the Apple Pencil. This is the new way of keeping your pencil attached to your iPad. This makes life a hell of a lot easier because it just connects to the side with the magnets, and it means that if you're gonna carry your iPad around, you've got your Apple Pencil available. This is the only way to charge your Apple Pencil, by connecting it to the iPad. This does not use, incidentally, Qi or Qi charging. So I've tried charging this with a whole range of different wireless chargers. It does not charge at all. The only way to charge it is connecting it to the iPad. So it's really nice to see that Apple have incorporated quick notes. Once the iPad is off, you simply just touch the pencil to the screen and you can make your doodle, whatever. I used to be good at drawing, but not so much now. I suppose that's kind of cool. Double tap is available, and this allows you to switch between options. So it's by default set up so that you get the pen and the eraser. Let's get rid of that. What I want to do when I bring you the full detailed review is actually give this to my wife, because she's more of a kind of doodler and artist than I am, and just get her feedback as to what she thinks of it. The thing we need to talk about and get out of the way is the USB-C connector. So USB-C is definitely the way forward, especially when it comes to connecting now, finally, the iPad with other peripherals. One of the limitations that I have found is this. Very simply put, if there is a file format that iOS recognizes and understands, you will have no problems. There might be a problem in the sense of workflow, because it means that it still needs to go through iOS. So for example, if I want to, port over images on an SD card, they have to go down to the camera roll, and then from the camera roll, I can move them over to third-party apps. So there's no way to directly get it into apps that you're looking for. But if there's a file format that doesn't work with iOS 12, or let's say just a file manager, maneuvering between files, that is not going to be possible on this device. And then that poses an issue, because those people that are going to look for the new iPad Pro to be a complete laptop replacement are still limited with A, how much you know iOS 12 well enough for you to kind of work around some of those kinks, and B, whether or not it's going to fit your workflow. I think that's really important to know. Those are my first impressions with the brand new iPad Pro. Just to summarize, I think it is an incredible upgrade, both from a hardware perspective when you compare it with older models, but also in terms of just use. I have used this now for a full day, downloaded stuff, played around with stuff, games, Procreate, a bunch of different video and photo editing apps. Check that out, guys. 50%. I have not charged this once in the last 24 hours, and that just goes to show how efficient, both with the A12X Bionic chip and also iOS 12, and also the battery life. This still is a beast when it comes to performance and battery life. What I want to do is give you a full detailed review. I'm going to do something slightly different, perhaps talk about things that I like and dislike about the new iPad Pro in the next video. So if you want to see that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the new iPads, if you're going to be picking any of these up. I would love to know your thoughts. That's it from me for now. I will see you here next time on EMKWAN Reviews. Until then, peace and blessings.